Hello everyone. How are you today? My name is Imani. Welcome to One by Faith, a place where we talk about spirituality and holistic living. Today's topic is going to be books. So I love reading, and I've collected a lot of books over the years, especially since starting my spiritual journey. And I want to share a few staples and a few of my favorites. So we will break this up into three categories. The first category will be gardening and herbalism. The second category will be more of these spiritual books. And the third category will be a combination of both. Definitely, these books will have more of holistic living per se. If you'd like to see more content like this video and subscribe. Also, to comment down below what your favorite books are in terms of holistic living. And also, if you want me to review any books, let me know. First category, here we are with gardening and herbalism. So I will say the books that I choose, I guess, are more beginner friendly, but these are just my favorite because they're very simple, very easy to read. So the first book we're going to talk about is the Farmer's Almanac. I don't know where my 2024 copy is, so we just have 2023 for now, so don't judge me. But the Farmer's Almanac, I love gardening. I would say that this book is amazing because no matter where you go, you will always, like if you move, if you live in different places, it will give you all the information you need no matter where you live. And I do like that this is a very universal book. And it also has a lot of other things. It has stuff about astronomy, astrology, when's the best time to plant things this year. It's way deeper than just frost dates. So the Farmer's Almanac, a lot of people talk about it being a gardener's Bible. I agree. The Farmer's Almanac is amazing. So every year, also too, just to see what the weather patterns are to prepare for what is up ahead. I love to read the Farmer's Almanac, and they have so much information. It's a great read. The second book we're going to talk about is this book called Garden Wisdom and Know-How. She is a big girl. Do not be intimidated. Do not be intimidated about this book. But this book has everything. Like if you own a home, even if you live in an apartment, this book has so much knowledge on literally starting from the beginning on like how you create your soil, how you create an environment, fertilizer. It gives you all of the information that you need about gardening and building your space. It even goes into, how to create a space, how to create different types of layouts and gardens and everything, for your backyard, even if it's in containers. And a lot of this information is transferable. You don't have to own a home. But a lot of this information is transferable from apartment to home ownership, from container gardening to in-ground in soil gardening. But yeah, there's lots of different sections. Like it's got, buying plants, mulching, plant propagation, seasonal care. Like it's got techniques. It's got different types of lawns, ground covers, trees, shrubs, vines, even indoors with like house plants, wildlife and working with it, an edible garden, projects that you can do. It even, warns you about insects, weeds, pests, insect mites, all of the above. This book, I would definitely say if you're going to read it, take it piece by piece by what piques your interest the most. I definitely wouldn't say for this book you just sit there and read straight through, even though it would really help, especially depending on what type of projects you have coming up. But I would definitely say this is my Gardening for Dummies book. So I highly recommend it. It is very beginner friendly. They have pictures, and everything is just well written in this book. And the third book in this category would be this Prescription for Herbal Healing book. My tried and true right here. This book actually is what got me started in herbalism. Like this and a few others. So I'm going to say that about a few other ones. But I will say that this one really did help. Essentially, for the most common disorders and ailments, this book has all the remedies you need. It has different levels of herbs, vitamins, minerals, all that you can take, and different recipes for all the common illnesses. So, for example, it has some for eczema, endometrial cancer, endometriosis, eye problems, fibroids, bruising, burns, allergies, the common cold, cysts, osteoporosis, parasites, pelvic inflammatory disease, sinus infections, sprains and strains, strep throat, stress, strokes, toothache, all types of stuff, warts, yeast infection. It has so many things. So many things. And again, this is one of those books where you don't have to sit there and read it through. But this is a great book to have in your library for you and your family, because if you guys have, a certain level of common ailments in the house, you are able to refer back to this book every time and take care of you and your family. This book, it doesn't have any pictures. That is one downfall that I don't like about this, is that it is just straight words. Not gonna lie to you, but I will say that each ailment is also very well written, and it is it's laid out very well. I enjoyed this book so much. I cannot tell you how much I love this book. And I believe that there is another one. There's like a sister book to it, so I'll probably be getting that one soon. I think this one's herbal healing, and the other one, I can't remember what the other one is, but I will probably end up getting it, and I'll review it, and I will tell you guys about it. But this book, this is a beautiful book to have in the house for common ailments, because when it comes to herbalism too, I think that people just forget, and I've forgotten it myself, how simple it can be. Being an herbalist can be very simple, and it's just simply like, if you like tea, just make tea. There you go. And oils and infused oils. I think that is like the simplest way to start. Even tinctures, they can be pretty simple as well, but just, sometimes just infused oils and teas and other little things as well. But it's a great way to start. It's a beautiful way to start. Next category is the spiritual category. These books have really changed the game for me spiritually and have elevated my spiritual journey. So, as some of you may know, I am a practitioner of hoodoo. So 3 out of the 4 books are more so related to hoodoo. So this first book is not hoodoo related. So I will start with that one. And then if you are not interested, you can go ahead and skip. First book that we have here is Your Body's Telling You Love Yourself. So the body keeps score of everything that you put in it, right? Everything you ingest, everything you digest, your body keeps score. But for every emotion you have, your body will react one way or another. So this book has truly put into perspective of how my emotions run my body, and how every emotional wound that I have comes out physically. For example, right, if you have a headache, the way that this book lays it out, it gives you the physical block, of course, emotional and mental, and then a spiritual block in conclusion. So the physical block of a headache is, this applies to normal headaches, by the way, not migraines or anything, like that, just a normal headache. And then it will explain the emotional block. For example, you belittle yourself instead of appreciate yourself. If you feel as though your head is going to burst, the message is to stop accumulating so much within yourself through fear of other people's judgment of what you are or are not. You may fear being ahead, in other words, being in front, being first, or leading the way. Having a headache, especially in the area of the forehead, indicates that you try too hard to understand everything. You should give your intellect time to accumulate enough data in its memory for your intelligence to be able to make a synthesis and better understand. Or the mental block, because the head is the seat of 4 of the 5 senses, It is a very important part of the body. When it hurts, you are prevented from seeing, hearing, feeling, and saying clearly what meets your needs. This distances you from what you want to be. You're being sent the message to get in contact with your real I am. In other words, with who you are at the moment. There's no point in forcing yourself to be what you believe others want you to be. No one in this world can be exactly what all those around them would like. Your body is showing you that you should let go of your mental activity. Stop wanting to understand everything mentally and just be yourself. That was loud. This book drags me for filth every time, and that is one small example. If you have back problems, look it up. You'll be dragged. But this book truly has changed the game in terms of if I'm having any common problems within my body and I'm doing everything else to like help fix it and alleviate it, I understand too that there is a buildup of something and I need to release it. So it really helps. It's a great tool for shadow work. It's a great tool for like certain releasing rituals. This book, all in all, has changed my life, and I will never, ever, ever, ever let this book go. All right, second book for my hoodoo girlies. So this one is a recent one, and I'm very upset with myself for not grabbing it sooner. Very upset for not grabbing it sooner. Power of the Psalms. So, for the hoodoo girlies, the Bible is a fantastic tool. It is a spell book. It is a great tool to use to elevate your spiritual practices and to say certain prayers. So this book has a psalm for everything. Almost every situation you can think of. It has a psalm for love, power, revenge, success, blessings, prosperity, protection, etc. All 150 psalms included. This book has changed my life. And as I read more of it, I love this book. If this book feels like a cheat code. It feels like a cheat code to life in a way. When I tell you after every single time I say a certain prayer, I say a certain psalm, I feel the difference immediately. Granted, this is also in combination with other things and other practices that I do, but listen, if you are a hoodoo practicing girl and if you are trying to stay away from the church, I understand why, but I will definitely say lean into it just enough because the Bible is a spell book. Third book, we have Root Work. This book right here. I love this book. I love this book so much. It has a lot of information about our history and what we used to do. Talks about different types of waters, different types of candles you can use, and like the colors and what they mean, different forms of divination, and many like how-tos on how to do them as well. It has so much information on practicing hoodoo and conjure and root work, and I just enjoy it. Outside of the spells that are in here, I would definitely say just on the information alone, just phenomenal. Like different types of things you can use in your life, and what their purposes are. I won't get too deep into it. I would just say that you would need to read it yourself. Even still, and like how to make certain things, different dirts, powders, waters, candles. It even talks about fire and what the fire looks like. Let's see here. Oh yeah, different types of herbs. It has so much. I would definitely say get this book if you are just starting and you don't know. I would definitely say for my root work and kitchen witches specifically. This book truly resonates with me in that way. So read that book. All right. And the fourth book in this section is Orishas, Goddesses, and Voodoo Queens. This book is amazing for the amount of information it has about the women in African traditional folklore. I love it. I love it so much. And it has a lot of information too on different herbs and their spiritual uses. I read this one the most for the herbs and the spiritual uses for these herbs, because a lot of them are very accessible and you can easily get them, which is somewhat kind of the point in a lot of ways. And just how to use them and it also mentions like what it goes well with. And it has, of course, different spells, different rituals that you can use. Of course, use your discernment. You don't have to use all of these, but it is a great informational book for if there is a certain person who you want to connect with, a certain deity, a certain person you want to work with, of course, properly, because we can't be doing any Orisha practices without proper initiation. But for a lot of other people, it's just a great way to start and do your research, find who you're interested in, and start working with them. So this is a great book. And also, too, I love women. So I'm tired of hearing about the men. I don't care about Shango. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But reading about women and the different women that are not mainstream. There are some women that are not necessarily mainstream and that everybody knows about, and I love that. So that is a great book if you are interested in learning about the ladies of our lore. And the third category, this is actually my favorite category, I'm not gonna lie. These books, 2 out of the 3, are all encompassing books, and they provide a lot of information. And one of them I would say is a very slow read, where you would read a section, leave, and come back. And that book would be African Holistic Health by Dr. Lila Africa. This book is also one of the first books that I purchased in the beginning of my holistic journey. And when I tell you, this book is probably my favorite when it comes to everything from African spirituality, sound healing, crystals, different types of foods that are good for you, just holistic lifestyle living. This is the book that made me throw away my microwave back in 2020. Yeah, 2020, I threw out my microwave. This is the book that helped me make so many life changes. And I still refer back to this book, and I reread stuff again, and I love this book so much. I will say that this book, Dr. Lila Africa, has, I would definitely say, more of a harsher language, to say it nicely. So just keep that in mind, that his language is pretty abrasive in this book. So just know that he is very, very, very pro-Black, which there's nothing wrong with that. But just his language is abrasive. So just be very aware of that. If that's not really your style and you like a more gentle book, I don't know where you'll be able to find one. Honestly, that would be your ministry. If you're looking for all the good stuff, the hidden secrets they be hiding from us in our history, you want that good stuff, you're gonna have to deal with the language. It is rather harsh, but I don't mind it, honestly. I like his straightforward approach. I love his blunt approach. I love it so much. And even still, there's like for example, I just opened this up to different charts So like amino acids body charts. So like for each part of the body, the different amino acids that work with that part of the body. Like this, music and speaking sounds. It even has different charts about the organs of the body, reflexology, like the different trigger points in the foot. Like this is an all-encompassing book. This is a big read as well. But this is the book where you can take your time, read a section, learn about it, research it, come back later, and reread it again. As you can see, I've started some tabs. I have some favorite sections. A lot of these books have been used. I try not to abuse them because a lot of them are paper books, but that's okay. But nonetheless, this book. If there was one book that I would say, actually, you know what? If there were 3 books that I would say that you would get, it would be these 3 books in this section. If you were to start off with anything, these 3 books would be the books to get, starting with this one. The second book that I recommend is another book that has also changed my life. This book is called Staying Healthy with the Seasons, and I've made an Instagram post about like one season before. This book is based in traditional Chinese medicine, and it gives a great perspective on how to work with nature, with your body, how nature works with you, and the best way to optimize your health throughout each season, because your body does not do the same thing every single season. Your body is not the same throughout the year. We are connected with nature, and this book has truly put into great perspective for me how I myself can work with nature to optimize my life throughout each season. It talks about the organs, the different organs to work on throughout each season, what foods to eat, what minerals. Like, it's great, and it's broken into 5 seasons, I believe. It would be winter, spring, summer, late summer, and fall. So, and it tells you how to prep for each one. My health has improved because of this book. This book has improved my life. And the third book has changed my menstrual life. And I'm actually going to reread this book again, because it's been a few years since I've read it. I'm going to reread this book again because this book has just changed my menstrual life. And I think I'm going to go even deeper and truly annotate it even further. Like, as you can see, I've annotated this book quite a bit. But this book is called Taking Charge of Your Fertility. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. They did not teach us the proper way. They did not teach us how our bodies actually work in school. So this book goes into details of how our bodies actually work, of each part of our cycle, okay? And it's not just about, oh, it's your period, you know, blah, 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 blah. No, this book tells you things that you would not have even guessed about your menstrual health, and how your menstrual cycle actually works, how your uterus actually works, what the different things that be going on down there actually means. A lot of questions that we may have for our doctors, this book will answer them. And this book has empowered me in so many ways. Also, too, this book is the epitome of the truth will set you free, but first it will you off, okay? This book is the epitome of that. When I tell you, and she actually knows it too. I remember one chapter, she's like, you're probably mad by now. Yes, I am. I'm really upset because how come I didn't know this? Why wasn't I taught this? I know why, but I'm still mad about it. This book, listen, ladies, and I say even men too, if y'all date women, you know, you want to understand women, get this book. This book will change your life, and learn how to take better care of yourself, and learn how to take charge of your fertility. It does talk about natural birth control as well. It even talks about family planning, not planning, and and planning, all of the above. It talks about everything, all encompassing when it comes to the bits. Before I conclude this video, I will give my top favorite and my least favorite. So, top favorite, African Holistic Health. Just nobody's competing with this book. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't have a least favorite. So that is today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed these book recommendations. If you have any questions about different types of books on like specific subjects and topics, let me know. I might have read books in that area before, and I can make another video on my favorites in that area and department and topic. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, hope you share it with your friends, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!